Alright, so finally, welcome back to the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Episode reviews. Man, this was a long wait. But I gotta say, it was worth it. This episode is more or less dealing with the fallout of what happened in the previous episode. Pretty much like all Winter Breaks, it's more or less like, hey, this is what happens, we're gonna be dealing with the fallout from, that big revelation that Sky's pretty much Quake. From, again, they look like they're pulling a lot from the agent, from Jonathan Hickman's Secret Warriors these days. Obviously, they're bringing in Quake, and then using Kraken, aka Daniel Whitehall. Very, very interested to see, very interested to see where this is all going to go next, especially what they do with Hydra. And I'm wondering who's going to be the new head of Hydra in North America, or the other side of the hemisphere. Anyway, so this episode kind of talks a little bit about what the Inhumans are. As they're called, this group called the Index, as Cal, aka Mr. Hyde, calls them, which I can't wait to see him transform into Mr. Hyde. I really am excited to see him become Mr. Hyde in the series. But anyway, we find out that Sky's mother, as we all know, she was immortal. She is an Inhuman. She was an Inhuman. And she was kind of like the Charles Xavier for Inhumans. She more or less spent her long life teaching everyone who went through the Terrigen Mist, and helped them learn their powers, especially the guy with the guy without eyes. We find out that he was a teleporter and can also apparently create energy fields. Okay, so I kind of like that. Sky's mother was again kind of like like I said, the Charles Xavier of the Earthbound Inhumans. Now I am kind of wondering, now that I bring up the Inhumans, I'm curious to know, are they in contact, or do they even know about the humans on Atalan? I don't think the temple we saw was Atalan. I think Atalan, as we all know, is on the dark side of the moon. So I'm wondering, is this group the Index, this group of Inhumans, are they in contact with the Inhumans on the moon? Or do they not know of their existence? Or do the people, does the Inhuman royal family just live on the moon and not know what's on Earth? Or do they keep in contact, or they at least know of the Inhumans on Earth's existence? And would they do anything about it? Do they take care of them? Do they try to get them to come back to Atalan? I'm really curious about stuff like that. So that's my thing that's the thing I'm curious about. And with the Inhumans movie coming in about 3 years, I'm surprised Marvel is setting up the Inhumans now. But again, 3 years away, you're going to be shoveling all this out through Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Okay, really curious to see where that's going to go. But anyway, with the Inhumans themselves, that's what I'm really curious about. Is like, is Black Bolt, Medusa, Crystal, Karnak, Triton, and Gorgon, and Lockjaw, are they going to be shown in this show, or are they going to be mentioned? Like, I think it would be a nice little reference, like, if they keep talking, like some of the members of these Earthbound Inhumans are talking, I made contact with the King today, I made contact with Lord Boltragon. That's Black Bolt's real name is Blackragon Boltragon. So, so I think it'd be cool, like, if they keep, like, some of the higher ranking Inhumans on Earth, like, they have they can make contact with Medusa and Black Bolt. Anyway, but enough about that. This again is more about Sky learning about what she is. She doesn't get control of her powers, and by the looks of next episode, doesn't look like she's going to be getting her control of her powers anytime soon. So that's going to be something to behold. And I gotta admit, props to, the actress playing Sky. She really pulls off this really scared as all hell, just really terrified kind of persona. If someone woke up with powers like that, and pretty much how they kind of go about talking about Inhumans, Yeah, Inhumans are this universe's mutants. That's how Marvel's doing it. So that's how it looks like. Yeah. So the Inhumans are the Marvel Cinematic Universe's mutants, equivalent to mutants. But anyway, I digress. And yeah, it looks like Gemma is going to be, Gemma Simmons is going to be, she looks like she's going to be very anti-inhuman by the looks of things, fearing the unknown and everyone dealing with Trip's death, which, yeah, that's a horrible way to die now that I think about it. Turning into rock and breaking into thousands of pieces, yeah, that's not a great way to die at all. Anyway, we also get what happened to Raina. We get to see what she became. It ain't pretty. And it's kind of satisfactory that she's kind of bitching and moaning about wanting all this power, wanting to become something divine and all that, and she gets turned into into a humanoid porcupine. I find it kind of satisfactory that she's kind of suffering, because she was so obsessed with becoming something beautiful, and she becomes something ugly, which, for the lack of a better word, was something she was. And it looks like she's going to be with the rest of the other Inhumans that are here on Earth. But yeah, and Cal looks like he's going to be joining up with the Inhumans again to wreak a little chaos on the the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But yeah, also interesting what they're doing with Hydra right now. Pretty much that Hydra looks like it kind of tore itself apart for a bit. Von Strucker's still like the all-time head of Hydra, but it kind of looks like the western part of the world is without a leader of Hydra, because Coulson kind of tricked them all into killing each other in a very smart way, I gotta say. So they all just kind of killed each other throughout the entire story, through the entire end of the story, and yeah, I'm kind of curious as to who's going to become the new head of Hydra on this side. I'm kind of wondering, maybe he'll be another Jonathan Hickman character. Maybe, actually, now that I think about it, maybe this is them maybe they're putting a stop to a little bit of Hydra's. They're putting a slowdown on the Hydra stuff. I know, no doubt, Hydra's going to be, involved in this story. No doubt about that. What I'm saying is maybe they're putting Hydra on the back burner for a little bit, and instead bringing in Leviathan. And obviously, because again, like I talked about, they didn't really stop Leviathan they only stopped one little plot with Leviathan and Agent Carter. And again, there are some major plot lines throughout the Peggy Carter series that made me kind of think, when I was reviewing the show, kind of thinking, maybe they're going to bring in more of Leviathan and more with Yelena. That's who I think who Dottie was in the Agent Carter series, that we didn't really see her die. She got away from him, so maybe they did Leviathan or Hydra, if they got a hold of her, did the whole Bucky Barnes thing and kept him unfrozen and then used her for special missions. So maybe that's what they're gonna do. That's what I'm betting, is that maybe we'll see more of Leviathan in here, like seeing the after effects of what happened with what happened in Agent Carter, and see them kind of spread out further throughout Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's what I'm kind of thinking right now. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. Anyway. I think I pretty much covered... Well, we also have apparently Mac and Mockingbird are up to something. That's going to be an interesting story, whether they're working for Hydra or Leviathan or AIM or the Great Lakes Avengers. I don't know. But it looks like something bigger is going to happen with those two. Really curious to see how that's going to play out in that story. But yeah, I'm really excited for next episode, because we get to see more of Skye learning to use her powers, and we get to see, Sif return. So always cool to see Lady Sif come back. I'm really curious to see why she's back. That's what I'm really interested about. I was like, why did you come back, Sif? Was there some other renegade demigoddess on Earth, or Are we going to see the Enchantress, or are you just here to say hi? I don't know. Anyway, so you guys tell me, what did you guys think of the re-premieres of Agents? Not re-premiere. The return of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Did you guys like this episode? Did you guys hate this episode? Just comment below, let me know. And man, I gotta say, Tuesdays very soon are going to be very, Tuesdays for a while are going to be very big, because we're going to have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., The Flash, and iZombie all in one day. Keep that in mind. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., iZombie, and The Flash all in one day. So that's going to be something to behold. Anyway, once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.